biopsych, or physiological psych is another name for it, is really taking neuroscience, is maybe the more hot term right now, is really taking our understanding of biology, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system, and looking at how those factors all play a role in our behavior. So psychology is the study of human behavior, and then the bio part is trying to look at it through the lens of what is the nervous system, what is the brain, how is that driving the different phenomena that we see and the different mental constructs that we have within a person.
In this video, we will be studying and discussing the effects of stress and anxiety on the human health. Stress is caused by stressors, which can be a number of things, such as school, your job, family issues, and really anything else that sends a person into fight or flight mode. When a person is in fight or flight mode, they instinctively have the decision of forcibly facing the problem head on or by simply running away.
You mentioned stress is one of the most common phenomena that humans experience in today's world, and it's very unique to the individual. So perceived stress is really the critical piece. Say you and I come into the same situation, and because of my life experiences, the stressor may not seem as much as a stress for me as it might be for you, because you don't have as much experience. Let's say it's public speaking. So public speaking is a very common stressor for people because we're being socially evaluated. We know we're being socially evaluated. People are looking at us and they're making judgment calls. Whether or not they are giving us a grade or anything like that, they're evaluating us on our ability to talk and communicate.
Stress symptoms can affect your body's health. People react differently to stress, but the two main symptoms are emotional and physical. So what is stress? Stress is defined as a state of mental or emotional strain resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. Because of this, stress can lead to many mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and personality disorders.
Physical symptoms are low energy, high blood pressure, and insomnia. Tight muscles and a rapid heart rate. Prolonged stress issues lead to coronary heart disease and cause a weakened immune system, which can also lead to the desire to not be sexually active, shaky hands, hot flashes, clenched jaws, and possible weight gain.
Common ways to deal with stress is to get some fresh air and remove yourself from whatever is stressing you out, and redirect your attention elsewhere. Getting fresh air gives you a boost of vitamin D and gives you that feel-good feeling, which is the rush of serotonin in your brain. Rely on rituals. For example, if you often do yoga to make you feel better, continue doing so. Stressful situations leave people powerless, and doing something familiar gives you control back over the situation. Humans naturally crave order and routine, and this often keeps the stress away.
So then I went to Ohio State for a postdoc, where I worked with breast cancer survivors there and tried to understand how we could help reduce some of the negative side effects that occur following cancer treatment. So things like fatigue and depression and those types of things. We used yoga as a tool to reduce stress. And then we looked to see was there a biological outcome, and lo and behold, there is.
Another thing to do is find a quiet place. Meditate and focus on your breathing, and bring yourself back to a happy place.
Exercise is one of the healthiest ways to deal with stress. It boosts your energy and produces endorphins. It also acts like a distractor. Endorphins are neurotransmitters that help deal with pain. Being kind and showing gratitude to others leads to a less stressful life. Gratefulness activates regions of the brain associated with dopamine, which is one of the feel-good neurotransmitters.
I mean, finals week is coming up. I'd probably say that. I don't know. In high school, I worked a lot, so probably like work and school combined. But now I just do school, so just school is my stressor. I go through a lot of Post-it notes. Like I just write stuff I need to do. I like start off every day. It's annoying, but like I kind of just have to like force myself to do X amount of tasks a day.
Probably like the schoolwork and all the tests and exams coming up and essays I have to write. I like to like exercise and run because I feel like it like releases a lot of stress and like I can just like get everything out.
Drinking, smoking, and other vices is the wrong way to deal with stress. It makes you feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it takes a toll on your body. It gives off effects such as raising your blood pressure, making you jittery, and keeping you awake at night. Sleeping away your stress can make you even more tired and less focused. Ignoring the problem and putting it off doesn't do anything, because in the end the problem will still be there. Eating away your feelings isn't what you want to do either. Soothing pain with comfort foods feels good at first, but your body will begin to associate negative feelings with eating. You don't want to clog your system with unhealthy food.
Lots of these symptoms are also common with depression. That's because stress can lead to depression, which is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Symptoms of depression are persistent sadness and emptiness. It comes out of nowhere and for no reason. Other symptoms include loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies, decreased energy, restlessness, no sleep or oversleep, thoughts of death or suicide, headaches, significant weight loss or weight gain.
Depression is one of the most common mental health disorders in the U.S. It is very situational, so symptoms and severity varies from person to person. Depression is caused by genetic, biological, environmental, or psychological factors. Anything can really cause it. Risk factors include family history of depression, major life changes, traumas, or stress, certain physical illnesses, and medications.
A combination of therapy and antidepressant medication can ensure recovery. Do not isolate yourself socially. Find a balance between both expressing your problems with others and finding other meaningful conversation that takes you away from the thoughts of depression. Seek help from a therapist and doctors, and also those closest to you, such as family.